Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Payne. Welcome back to another episode of Blu Ocean Crypto. So today I want to go over advanced Blaze Healcopter strats. Before with the other video, I was really focused on, and what I showed you guys was the shortest troop training time and really being the most efficient when it comes to farming those rubies. However, there is some slight adjustments that you can make to this attack to really make it a lot stronger and more consistent. However, you are kind of sacrificing some of that train time, but I just wanted to show you guys some examples and ways that you can really take this attack to the next level. So without further ado, let's jump right in.
I want to play.
Okay, so now that we're in game, I'll just firstly show you what the attack is. As far as the troop composition goes, we are looking at, just queue it up here, 4 brutes, 24 blazes, 48 healcopters, 6 boom carts, 6 phages, and 4 rangers. Now, really the main difference is just lowering the blazes by a few and the healcopters by 2. Essentially, you might have even guessed it by this point, the brutes are really to bait out and trigger the mines, which can help save your blazes. Obviously, if you're trying to push through some of those bases, especially the ones that have like 4 entrances and there's mines there. And then the rangers are really just to save on the cleanup time, because you do have to backtrack with the old attack in order to go clean up all the trash. So I just want to show you guys some recent attacks, and actually these are the most 3 recent. So you can just see it was back to back. I'm not necessarily just picking my favorite. So we'll start with this one. And there's slight differences with each that I want to highlight here. So with this one, it's pretty straightforward. I'm trying to go for those 2 anti-air. The deployment is same as normal, making the 2 entrances. I'm usually dropping the brutes after the blazes though, because I do want the brutes to make it in a little ways. Obviously, we're saving the 20 healcopters, 6 phages, and a few rangers. I do have some rangers working on that outside trash already there. Now, with this, the brutes really didn't get a chance to get too far ahead here, so they didn't get their job done in the way that I would have liked. However, we're still saving the phages, some of the healcopters. And we do have those brutes actually kind of moving ahead up there. There's 3 left, I think, still. Now, what's nice about having some of these brutes too, and this is why I wanted to highlight the attack, they can distract some of the AoE defenses just to require a little less healing on your blazes. Well, something else that I found is nice, and you guys might have noticed this using this attack, sometimes if the healcopters don't have anything to heal, they'll like peel off your troops and start heading across the base. By having those extra brutes in place, it really just helps the healcopters stay in position. Now, another important thing to note with the phages is you really want to be using them as you can. So you can see up here, I noticed there was a clearing. There's really only that turret up there, so I might as well drop a phage. Same with the sides here. So use your phages as the attack progresses. Don't necessarily wait until the very end. And then you can see I'm dropping some rangers on the rally points, because that's obviously the trash that's going to be the biggest pain in my butt. So let's just speed this up here. So that was a good example showing you, how to use the rangers and the phages most effectively, because time does matter with this attack. And of course, the brutes still were helpful, even though they really didn't bait any mines out. So let's take a look at the next one. Okay, so this one seems pretty straightforward where I'm going to come from the bottom, because I've got the 3 anti-airs right there. Same thing, we're doing the blazes first, then boom carts, then brutes, then heroes. Heroes, I'm also finding it's really important to keep them in the same spot when you deploy them. Don't necessarily split your heroes between the 2 entrances. And then what I'm often doing is I'll use the phages to kind of help funnel my heroes at least a little bit. Sometimes they do end up hanging around the whole base, and that's completely fine. We can see we're going to get the 3 anti-airs there. We do have the brutes beating on a wall there. That's okay. They are getting healed up. Same thing, I'm really looking like, when can I deploy a phage? When can I deploy a ranger? When does it make sense? And then something I'm doing up here is I'm deploying a bunch of just kind of scattered helicopters because I want this anti-air to get distracted by them and not take out the main group of helicopters that are behind the blazes. I also got lucky the brutes triggered a mine there. That's something that's really important to note. If you're going to the last anti-air or the last two anti-air, you can actually sprinkle the remaining helicopters on the opposite side of the base. So as they're trying to come through the base, that last one or two anti-air are actually now distracted by your single groups of helicopters, and they'll stay off the main group. So that was a really important tip I wanted to show you guys with this one. It can be really helpful, especially if your helicopters get really grouped up near the center. You don't want just two anti-air shots taking up the entire group. Okay, one more attack to take a look at here. Hope this is helpful for you guys. I've really been enjoying this attack strategy, and I will admit I am leaning a little bit more towards this consistent one. Yes, it takes a couple extra minutes on the troop chain time, but I just like the versatility that it provides. And then here's one more. You can tell these aren't simple bases, right? These are high-level bases, high defenses, decent builds. Now here's another one. A great example with this, we see the double anti-air, but of course, generally with this attack, you'd be scared of that entrance because of a bomb. So we're doing the blazes first, then the brutes. Blazes, boom carts, then brutes, then some of the helicopters behind. I'm generally always trying to save 20 helicopters in the phages and rangers. But like I said, I will use the phages a bit in the beginning to help with the funnel. And we have our brute heading in there for a mine, and it didn't look like there's actually an anti-air mine there, which was interesting, not a ground mine. But just having those brutes in front, you can tell they don't last long, but they really, really help with those mines. Because sometimes it can happen, you just hit a mine and your helicopters aren't quite there, or you hit a mine in a motor and it can just ruin your day, especially if all your troops bunch up. That's why I'm really enjoying the 4 brutes. And of course, the rangers are pretty self-explanatory too, right? Like, there's always trash. You know, like right now I'm kind of thinking about this right side with the rally point. Luckily, the mirror went down to the builder hut, but there we go. I'm dropping the rangers just to speed up the attack a little bit, because if you do run into a mine near the end and your army's kind of mostly destroyed, it can take a little while to finish that cleanup. So this also just helps make the attack a lot more consistent. So really the main takeaways I would say is use your phages as your attack progresses when you see it's safe to do so, similarly with the rangers. And then also when you're saving those 20 helicopters after your initial deployment, you can sprinkle them on the backside of the base to distract the last 1 or 2 anti-airs, right? You just kind of deploy them spread out, so they'll kind of try to come through the base, and obviously as they do that, anti-air is going to target them. Your main group of helicopters on your main army is going to stay safe. So curious to see your guys' results. Let me know how this goes. Obviously having your heroes leveled up does make a big difference, and making sure that your heroes are available is very important for this attack. I've actually found myself using Sapphire sometimes just to speed up the hero speed time, because it does make such a big difference with this attack. And the attack's already so cheap as far as Sapphire goes that I don't mind. Same time, you could just attack, you know, every 24 minutes, you know, how long this army takes, and then you generally should always have your heroes up by then. Okay, thanks so much for being subscribed to the channel. It really helps out. I appreciate it. Do me a favor and smash that like button, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Cheers.